Welcome back to Bleed With Me Horror Podcast. I'm your host, Micaela Superstar. I'm back this week with my other co-host from my other podcast that came first, Ellelectrick. Welcome, Ellelectrick.
Hey, it's so cool to be here.
So yeah, thanks for coming on this show. I know you don't often want to talk about horror, which is why I started this whole other podcast. But also it's just so all-encompassing, just like science is. It's like they have to be totally different, you know? So I'm glad you came on, though, because you do like some scary stuff, just not super gross stuff and not a lot of it.
Yeah, and I can handle animated, creepy, and gross things way better than movies because they're less visceral for me. So...
Right.
I like creepy things, but I can't let it get too creepy because otherwise I have nightmares.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, it doesn't happen to me, but I understand because people say that, so I get it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we always find some common ground anyway. We did talk about horror a little bit in the Blunt Letters too in the past. Like I think we did talk about some Grady Hendrix and like Yellow Jackets.
Totally.
And, I don't know. We talked about M. Night Shyamalan a lot.
We can never, we have a hard time cutting back the things that we do during, the spooky months, too. Because there's...
True. That's kind of what inspired this podcast. I was like, my God, I could just keep going with spooky month all year.
Didn't we do a Jason one?
So now I do.
Or Halloween or something?
We did Halloween. And the fact that you said Jason is why you're not...
See what I mean? I don't know the guys.
It was Wayne's World. It was Mike Myers.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway. Has anyone ever made that into a thing where it's Mike Myers killing people to the
I'm
Austin
so
sure. It's got to exist. If not, I know what I'm making when this comes out.
It's so funny.
Stab. Yeah.
See, I could watch
Behave. I also could watch that. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is a no-brainer. We're gonna have a great time. Not that I don't have a great time with everyone, but we do this all the time. We've been doing this for years now. We can say we've been doing this podcast for years. The other one.
It's true. And
wow,
I'm so excited to be a guest too. It's so different in my mind from being a host. You know?
You're not in charge. Anymore.
And so much more I'm hoping this is just our everyday conversations because believe it or not, they're not the same as a podcast, you know? So it's fun when you and I...
Yeah, not exactly.
You and I get into the details of stuff in a nerdy way a lot. Just hanging out.
Yeah, it's true. Someone recently called us raunchy, and I was like, oh, yeah. The woman who runs the Uma Gallery, she said it on our Instagram, and I was like, yes. I was like, that's a great word for us.
Yeah.
Raunchy.
Yeah, someone's listening. This is
highbrow, low life, raunchy stoner girls. Yeah. Super into that.
That's awesome. She's cool.
That. I want a t-shirt that just says raunchy stoner.
We can make that.
Totally making myself that t-shirt. Yeah, 100,000%, and then I want to wear it next time I see her. Anyway, what are you drinking, raunchy stoner?
Well, it's good old hydrogen 2 oxygen 1, or otherwise known as water, because I'm getting blood work done in the morning.
Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
I don't know.
What have you created? You're drinking water.
I have to drink water because I'm not allowed to drink anything else until the next 12 hours. Sorry, bro. But I did eat a bunch of edibles and get really stoned. Yeah.
20?
10 milligrams. Man, no, 20, and I'm just like...
Lightweight.
If I'm chilling with you on a regular day and I have 20, we're good. If I'm chilling with you and I have 20 milligrams, I'm just like, yeah. For sure. I edit the other podcasts and I'm all just say anything else.
Stoner, say something. Yeah, bruh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah. And then you wonder why I just babble the whole time. I'll be like, I just tried to fill the air.
Yeah, so I have to walk the delicate line because I also smoke a bunch of weed because it's fun.
Yeah,
you're
right. I forgot to like chill anything to drink my gin with, so I ended up drinking, apropos of Bleed With Me, a blood orange soda with gin, Rangpur lime gin. It's good. It's very sweet.
Oh, fuck yeah. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Blood orange soda, the San Pellegrinos.
Yeah, it's good.
Those are the best ones.
Do you love eating your boogers? But you are trying to stay vegan?
Have you been reading my diary?
Well, you're in luck. We have teamed up with Full Meat to bring you Snots! Plant-based snot balls that taste just like the real thing.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I like the texture. It's so sticky.
I love a slimy meat substitute that goes down smooth.
Just like my human boogers. I can't even tell the difference.
I love the salty quality.
It really has the umami flavor of boogers.
I love that there's an option for my picking proclivities.
It's so much easier than sticking my finger in my nose since I barely have any fingers left.
The resealable bag means I can have snots on the go.
Snots here, snots there, snots not even snots.
Snots and popcorn, snots in your underwear.
Snots in your pocket, snots in your shirt. Lay down.
Snots.
The worst theme song. Do not stick snots into your nose. If you get them stuck in your nose, immediately flush out with oat milk and consult a yoga bitch. Anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of cool stuff. We're going to talk about some stuff that we are going to review real quick, a board game and a book. And then I wanted to talk with Ellelectrick about Laurie Lipton, who's a female artist, because I thought she would be really into her. And we'll discuss her kind of briefly because she really could be a whole episode of her own. She's so cool. But also we wanted to talk about Servant because it just ended. And
oh my God.
honestly, we were going to spend a little bit more time on Laurie Lipton and like maybe something else. But it just Servant. If you know us, you know we love Night, which is what M. Night Shyamalan's friends seem to call him on his behind the scenes stock. So I'm just going to go ahead and call him Night because that shit is cool. Oops, sorry.
The coolest name you could have.
What's up, Night? Ugh, he's so cool.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about Night, and then and Servant.
Yeah, 4 seasons of us like being like, oh my God, can you believe that? Like, it was
good. It was great. So we'll get into that tonight too. We'll try not to go too long, but we're a little more loosey goosey on this one, on this podcast. So we'll see. We'll see what we got to say. But yeah, first of all, we played a game that I was really looking forward to.
Yeah, I bought it for you for Christmas.
It's called, what was it called?
Betrayal.
On Hill House.
Yeah.
Right? And it seemed cool. It was like a cooperative game, and then someone betrays you, and then you have to work against this person together. And I love cooperative games, but man. And I think I like a fairly complicated game. I will admit, if things get a little too complicated like this game, I will get bored. I think of those games as for people who enjoy reading IKEA instructions. Like, do you really like to put together IKEA like drawers and shit too, you know? And I'm not saying you're a bad person if you like those games. It's just not me. My limit is something like Pandemic, you know, which I think is complicated. It comes with a book, you know, but once you play it, it's pretty easy to understand. It moves. It's just a lot easier than this other game, which had 3,000 different pieces. That honestly, even after the first gameplay, I couldn't even tell you what the fuck all those pieces would even be for. And I seriously didn't care. I had no curiosity about it. I was just like, this game was so boring. Am I wrong? It got so many good reviews.
No, I really didn't get it either. I was like, I don't understand what the gameplay is like. even though we've been listening to this for like 20 minutes. Like, I feel like my attention span for instructions and being confused isn't that long, you know? Like, I can't sit.
And then the actual gameplay was like so simple it was boring. It was like, now you moved into a new room. That's it. And you're like, well, what the fuck are all these instructions
Oh, yeah.
for?
And then you like encounter random things.
Right?
But like you didn't even like know which things to put on the board or how they worked. Or sometimes you would have them on the board and they didn't matter.
And they weren't even that fun. And yeah. And then there was like one part where we couldn't really understand what the rules even meant because it didn't really it was just like not using its own language.
It was like if then scenarios, you know, like it was like you unpack a scenario and I was like, I don't understand. And now I've been frustrated for so long I don't care. That's where I got to.
It was weird. And then we tried to watch a video about playing it and that was confusing and boring. And I was like, I would rather play Quirkle 3 times in the time it took to play this. This wasn't that great. And so much hype on the internet. So anyway, we were like,
I don't know. I like games where you are a character and your character has advantages. And depending on the people you're playing with, you have a different set or a different chance of winning because of the advantages that those characters have. Yeah, and there's like a clear, like, if there's like, it's an element of chance because there's dice. And then it's like really clear what those dice mean, you know? Yeah, I agree. I like to like sit down and play a game, not like sit down and listen to instructions for like half an hour and then be like, okay, let's start, you know?
Right.
Yeah, it's like once you get to this part of the game, you open a second book.
Yeah, and then there's like this whole other booklet, and I was like, this is just too much. I was like, fucking Christ, man. Like, no way. It was not for me. I don't know. Prove me wrong. Have fun playing it, but I don't want it. If anyone would like to buy it from me, DM me. And then we also read a book of short horror stories by
Carmen Maria Machado.
Yeah. Her Body in Other Parties. Which we kind of liked. There was like a story I liked okay, and then I've had a really hard time trying to finish it, and then I didn't. I read like a lot of it. I skipped the SVU one because I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, the SVU one really killed it for me, and I don't know if it's because I've never watched SVU, but I was like, this is really going on for a long time, and it's very disorienting, and I don't really care about the characters because I don't really understand what's happening to them.
Right.
Like they're just moving through these scenarios, but there's no story that's interesting.
I didn't see the point of a lot of her short stories, and short stories are like, they don't have to have a point, but man, they should at least be interesting or something. I don't know. I did not enjoy that book. I'm sorry. I
liked other stories in it.
Sometimes I get to a book like that where I'm like, yeah, it's okay, and some of the stories are all right, but then I'm like having such a hard time reading it, and I'm like, do I even like to read anymore? And then I'll pick up another book and just fly through it in 3 days, and I'll be like, oh, I love reading. I didn't like that book. Because I read 2 books in the same time it took me to try to read that book and finish those 2, trying to finish the other ones, and love the other 2, which we will talk about at some point, you guys, because they were both horror. So actually, no, the other one was magical realism. So we'll talk about one of them, but we'll talk about the other one on the other podcast. Let's just say that. We could talk about the Gods of Jade and Shadow on the Blunt Letters podcast because that's science fiction, you know?
Love it.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. But yeah, we both didn't love this. And then even when I went to go buy some more books the other day, I was talking about that one, and they're like, yeah, it's kind of hit or miss. Like to this other horror nerd that I go talk to at the bookstore, who actually told me to read The Ballad of Black Tom. They were like, it's Lovecraft Country if it was actually written by a black person. And I was like, sold. So
nice.
Yeah, Victor Laval is really good. But so the same nerd had great taste and was like, yeah, I didn't really love that short story collection either. Hit or miss. And I was like, yeah, hit or miss. Which I guess is fair of all short story collections, I suppose.
That's true. And it's hard to have a whole book of short stories, but I feel like there was a couple of strong ones that were based on, like that one that was based on the ribbon, the woman with the ribbon around the neck, like the reimagining of that classic tale. Like that was a really amazing start. Like I was excited for the book, you know? And there was a couple of other ones that I liked, but
Inventory was my favorite, where she just kept track of, like, you learn, because that was one that was clever, had a device. Because again, this was very academic to me. This seems like the teacher's pet in college with this book, you know. And no offense, it's just like it's very, very, very properly done, and that's not normally my favorite writers, right? Collegiate, academic, award-winning people necessarily. I mean, I shouldn't say award-winning because a lot of like beatniks and shit won awards, but like, you know what I mean. It's just very, very, it's academic. And so she used a lot of devices that I understand are supposed to be clever, like the SVU one and all that, and I get it, but I don't enjoy it. It's like conceptual art. It's like, I get it, people think I don't get it, I get it, I just don't particularly enjoy it that much. I don't get that much joy from conceptual art as other people do, and I don't get that much joy out of academic writing that's supposed to be clever. But this one device that she used for Inventory, I did enjoy, because she showed you the decline of the world and a future, dystopian future, through her list of lovers that she had and brief descriptions of what they did after fucking. And I was like, that's cool. I can get behind that.
Yeah.
But
I
that was
like
about
that.
it. That was like the only one I really enjoyed and was like, that's clever. Everything else I was like, oh, yeah, I did not like that. The one with the girls with the dresses, I was just like, what is your fucking point?
Oh yeah, I agree. It was like an interesting idea and I liked the story, but it wasn't really like aimed at anything.
It didn't go anywhere.
I liked
a lot of the short stories, I feel like, didn't go anywhere.
Versus Inventory, which went left to right. Like that's like literally traveling across the country as the story progresses as well, and like moving away further and further from this outbreak, you know?
Yeah.
I thought that was really well done.
It was really well done. And so I give her that. But after that, I was just kind of like, nah. And then you were like, this last one at the end's about just a lot of abuse. And I was like, I don't want to read that right now. Okay. You know, so.
I mean, I did appreciate in the way that it was written that it wasn't so like overt. It was like really tactfully done. But yeah, it's like pretty intense, you know. I like the idea of the book where it's like her body and other parties, so it's like bodily harm and horror. But yeah, I didn't love the execution on it, you know. But there was there was those good ones in there, like that we talked about. So, you know, it was cool to read a new author too.
It was, because you never know if you're gonna love it or hate it. So
yeah,
I didn't hate it, just didn't love it.
Right.
Cool. Well, now you know, and knowing is half the battles.
Ugh, I have this big fart stuck in my funny tummy. I'm afraid if I push too hard, I'll shit my pants.
Why don't you call 1-800-FART-KNOCKERS?
What's that?
Fart knockers will headbutt you in the stomach for $1 and knock that fart right out of you.
$1? Thanks, I'll call right away. Thanks, fart knocker.
Not responsible for your ass sounding like a machine gun, duck, or other aquatic fowl. May take more than one headbutt to dislodge fart. Sharding and accidental boners may occur. If erection lasts more than 2 hours, consider getting into BDSM. Do not contact fart knockers to get said boners again. Call 1-800-DICK-FARTS instead. Do not use fart knockers if currently possessed or lactating.
Welcome back to Bleed With Me. I'm here with Ellelectrick, and we're going to talk a little bit about Laurie Lipton.
Yeah.
She's one of my favorite artists. She's really fucking cool. She's just about 70 years old. She was born in 1953 in New York, New York. She's a New Yorker. She was the only woman to graduate from Carnegie Mellon with a fine arts degree in drawing because she wanted to paint like the old masters, but then just didn't like painting, like just hated painting essentially. and wanted to draw. She just wanted to draw. And so she created her own style of drawing to be more painterly, essentially, with little brush strokes. And she's now the best drafts person in the world, in history. She's great.
So badass.
It's amazing.
Like you look at her drawings and you're just like, someone drew that.
It's unbelievable.
She's
truly a master of graphite.
Massive. Yeah. And like her work right now that she's doing, or the most latest stuff, is so huge and it's taking up space, and it's like,
she loves it
so
much.
detailed.
She's like,
I
my
love
God.
it too.
She's like doing this giant triptych, or it has like doors or whatever, and it's like 20 feet long. And she's like, I commissioned myself because no one else would commission to do a huge piece by me. And I was like, that's fucking sick. So like, she is very classically trained. She does things very realistically, but she also picks things that are super dark, horrific, scary shit. Like, she was known early on for Love Bite, which was sort of a take on the Saturn devouring his children or whatever. And it's like a woman literally just biting a tiny infant's head like an apple. And it was just like so realistic, so shocking. And she didn't show blood. It's just her about to bite into it. It was so absolutely effective, you know? And does very creepy like kids, or like creepy little killer kids like holding knives, or like 50s housewives that are like psychotic looking and like maybe unnatural, or you know, like just really horrific scenes. And you look in her stuff and you're like, whoa, what happened to you? Because she seems so normal on the outside. Right? She says people say that to her all the time. They're like, oh, I thought you'd be all like gothed out and like dark. And she's like, whatever, man. I don't know. Sorry. Sorry. And so she like, you know, when she grew up in New York and didn't find, I guess, that much work. So she went to Europe and had some shows. But I feel like she's really hit her stride here in LA. She's been really talking it up and seeming like she's having a great time and having like a lot of that New Yorker pushed out of her, and just is like relaxing and embracing like kind of the sunshine, being happy out here and drawing. She talks about her shoulders relaxing, and she actually says good morning to people now, and I'm like, whoa, you are no longer a New Yorker if you say hello to strangers. Yeah, good morning.
The sun will burn it right out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Also, she says she doesn't leave her house a lot, which I also understand, where you're just like,
it will also help you be a nicer person.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like she talked about her early life where her perspective changed, and like her parents seemed like they're kind of bohemian, like they were kind of like influenced her artisticness. Like she would draw this really dark shit, and her parents were just like, oh, you're so talented, which I found like so interesting. But so
cool.
She says that a lot of her perspective was shifted when she was younger. And trigger warning for people this is a story about sexual assault. But there was like an escaped convict or someone from like a mental institution, she said, had escaped, a child molester, and and he came and took her. I think they said, you want to see my puppies or whatever. And she was like, yeah, I'm not scared of anything. Like she was sort of this like leader of the pack kind of kid, and went to go see this dude's puppies, and he brought her to like a ditch and like molested her. And
didn't even bring her, just like pushed her into a ditch. They were like all right there. And all these
kids were like watching her. So she was like violated with kids watching her, and she was like, that's when I found evil, you know, like that was it. Like, holy shit, things weren't good. And it's interesting because not only did that shape her, obviously her worldview and her art, but then she even talks about it in that, I don't know if you watched that documentary where she talks about it at the end. She's like, I'm not glad it happened, but it made me who I was today. Yeah. And I was like, whoa. Like, it was a really intense realization. You know what I mean? Like,
totally.
She's like, that person brought that darkness in my life, but that's what brought me here. So
is it a way to make peace with it in a way?
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is how I can deal with this in a healthy way.
Yeah, it's like the healthiest way to deal with it. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But so that really shaped her whole life. And I feel like, I don't know, creating, and I do a lot of horrific stuff, you know, like a lot of my paintings are creepy and scary and stuff I write. And I was thinking about like why, you know, women like us especially would do these things, or like what is it about it that, you know, they say over 60% of horror fans are women, you know, and definitely true crime fans are mostly women. And why is that, right? And it's like, I think creating the horror is also controlling it and taking control of a terrible situation. And I realized that's what it was for me a lot. It's like you escape into the horror, and I think by creating that space, being the creator of the space instead of having someone being that creator for you from like what they did to you, and being in full control of that scary space is sort of a way through the trauma. Like art is the therapy in the sense like where you are creating a safe space to feel the fear you felt before, to get through it again, but you know now you're the one who can move forward, like with the image or the art or the music or whatever, and erase it all. Like you could just draw flower arrangements, but you don't want to forget or change the past, but you want to deal with it head on, one stroke or line at a time or whatever. And then when you're done, you can look at your pain, you know, like a trauma mirror or something. Like reminding you just like your own daily reflection that you're still alive, right? Like I feel like it's that kind of thing. I don't know. This was just sort of came to me where I was like, why do I think I do these things? Like, why do I reflect such an ugliness back at myself when I'm painting and doing this art? And I was like, I think it's really a way to control it and see it and look it in the eyes, sort of, you know, even if there's no eyeballs, you know. And I think that's what people who draw and paint and make scary shit, that's what they want to do. They want to look it in the eyes and like try to confront it and get over it and be like, nah, fuck you, you know, I made you and I can destroy you or control this narrative now or something. It's really interesting to me. And it made me question it when I read her story about how she dealt with it, and I was like, that's really fascinating to me.
I totally agree with that. And I think she, in her later stuff with like the more political, like Trump stuff and the media, it's like she's trying to show these horrific ideas that she's seeing and making people confront it, because in those
right
drawings, it's like people are ignoring it, and like that's a thing. It's like she's like, everybody's letting these atrocities go by like entertainment.
Well, just like the kids that day.
Exactly.
Just it's always the same. It's always the same. People just letting shit happen. And I think artists just want to, keep shoving it in people's faces over and over again to just be like, do you not see what I'm seeing? Do you not hear what I'm hearing? Like,
and how it applies to all these situations.
And those are my favorite artists. And they call that subversive, and they call that, you know,
outsider.
But it's really just them being like, stop ignoring the horror. You know, stop ignoring the fucking awful shit. And I think that's what a lot of these more abrasive, true art forms are really about. You know, and she's very abrasive. It's one of my favorite things. She's super punk rock when she opens her mouth. I mean, she just hates these rich 1% motherfuckers, you know? And it's like fucking glorious, you know, to hear her talk about it, because she's really just right on the fucking money, man. Like she's really it's so right, and her anger is so
directed
on other people,
like clearly
so
directed.
It's like so well directed. Like she knows what she's mad about, and it's so beautiful. And now she's doing these giant pieces. It's sort of anti-technology or just exploring technology.
She talks about the potential for utopia on Earth, and then how it's like taken away by these greedy 1%ers and stuff. And she's like, it's already here. We could have it now. Yeah. But we can't because of these fucking assholes. And it's like, wow, she's really like putting her like finger on the button, you know, like she's really knows what's happening. And I think that it's interesting too that she talks about like media overload and like the overflow of information, and so you see that in her work where it's like all these little tiny details that kind of overwhelm you. But then you think about it, it's like this is graphite on paper, you know, so it's like you're fighting the digital with the very, very what's
most basic tools, kind of. The medium is like so rudimentary.
Right? It could almost be like paper. A chisel would be the second most, you know, like if she was really going at it.
A stick in the sand.
There's no zeros and ones in any of these depictions of like huge connections of media and stuff. It's really amazing. It's so good on all those levels, right? It's good on her personal level. It's good on the political level. It's good on the actual like subject versus substrate level. Like it's just like fucking genius stuff. Then you're like, whoa.
Yeah, she's really a genius. And it's fucking terrifying. Again, like this isn't just like cool pictures. Like you guys have to go look. Like you will love it. Skulls and dead shit and creepy babies and all the stuff. Like
in one of the videos that the her art dealer is like, I have this drawing of hers, but I have to take it down sometimes.
It's Love Bite. It's actually Love Bite.
Oh, is it Love Bite? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And he's like, some people like they're like they can't see that. You know, like it's censored.
Yeah, like some of our clients are just like, can't see that. Take it down. We're having clients in today. Yeah. So he's like, we don't even hang it up anymore. It just sits here because we had to keep taking it down so much that it was just like, just leave it down.
So that's interesting too. To take up so much space with these kinds of images too, right? And be like, fuck you, you're gonna see it. You can't hide this away. Yeah. You can't take this down.
And then even it's like, you look at these horrible things, but you're like, my God, look at the draftsmanship. You know, it's like you can't get past the actual raw talent that this woman has. So you're just like, damn. Yeah. Damn. This is what she chooses to draw. She could draw anything in the world.
But it's great. I love that there is somebody that's so talented that chooses this subject matter, because even though I'm a scaredy cat, I do love this creepy shit, man. It's like I like to have this confrontation. Yeah.
We have the finest recipe that comes close to your favorite dressing.
Comes close?
Here at Uncanny Valley, we use all the best ingredients to bring you a ranch dressing-like sensation. Here, try.
Why does that salad make me feel so uncomfortable?
I don't want to dip my pizza in that. It makes me queasy.
That dip straight up makes me want to cry. It's bringing out my innate fear of death.
Oh, we think you'll love it if you just try it.
I just can't get over something unnatural about this salad dressing.
Yeah, what it did to my chicken wing is a crime against nature.
Look, if you could just get past the slightly imperfect nature of UVR, we know you'll learn to love it just like the real thing.
So, what is it, vegan?
No.
Nope. I don't like it.
Try it today.
Absolutely not.
Uncanny Valley Ranch. It's unsettlingly similar to food you like.
Welcome back to Bleed With Me podcast. Tonight, we are talking 4 seasons of Servant. Now, we're not going to try to go too crazy, but my goodness, it's a pretty great show. It's M. Night Hitchcock over here. Suspense, tension, paranoia, evil, biblical, Faustian deals, a mother's love, so many things. A sociological comment on stupid rich white people. So many things.
It's got it all. And it develops everything so slowly.
It's pretty great. Yeah.
I love it.
Pacing is great.
So good. So creepy.
And so and the other thing that I really love, very, very Hitchcock, is that every single season, every single episode takes place in the brownstone. There's a few scenes at a park here or there, but like that's right outside the brownstone. You know what I mean? Like it's really claustrophobic on purpose, and it's pretty great, especially for it coming down right after and around the pandemic, where everyone felt like they were trapped in their homes. So it was very effective and so beautifully shot. He brought in so many cool directors to do episodes, a lot of like women, a lot of people of color, and you honestly can really tell when you're not seeing the lens of a white person all the time. It's pretty great. Or like a white man, like I feel like it's like, because we all have heard that voice for so long that I feel like you can really, really hear the other voices shine through when you see someone else come to the behind the director's chair. And it's like, I think that was what was so compelling about the way these episodes were directed and why they felt so fresh.
Yeah.
The white people are the villains, first of all. The most of the white people in this are like unlikable assholes who are pretty shitty people. And then when you think of the people of color, they're actually like really good people, or they're like, what the fuck's wrong with you guys?
That's true.
Like,
they get drawn into it, but they're not like
yeah.
Yeah.
Toby's super sweet. Fucking love him the whole time.
In that first season, their friend Natalie, I think is her name. She's the kinesiologist that offers them a solution for the doll in the first place, and then she encourages them to like come clean and tell her what's going on early on. Yes.
Yeah, black woman. Yeah, exactly. And then it's just like, fuck all of you eventually. It's just like, goodbye, all of you. So it starts off, so I guess we should preface what this show is about, because it is actually it creeps on you too, because you don't really know what this is about at first exactly, and that's what's great. And the whole first season is really just you meeting this family. It's fucked up. You know that Dorothy, the mother, is disassociating, really in denial about the death of her child, because she's pretending a doll is her actual child and can't tell the difference. Her husband and her brother are going along with it. Her father's going along with it because she was catatonic before from actually letting her child die, which you do find out pretty fast. You don't find out exactly how, but it was an accident and the baby's gone, and she needs the doll to not be catatonic. And so she wants to go back to work. And so in her mind, she has a live baby. And so she hires a nanny because she is a successful news anchor in Philadelphia, and her husband is a famous chef who has had his own show before. He's a Gordon Ramsay type, yelling, swearing. He's an asshole, and they have a terrible relationship. They seem to hate each other. It's
at the beginning
strange. At the beginning of this, they seem to honestly hate each other. It's so strange and very, very similar to a lot of my marriages till I got divorced. You're just like, why are you two together? And then he's sort of just like, hey, nanny, you don't have to pretend this doll's a baby. And she's like, whatever for? What are you talking about? Of course he's real. And then she's some crazy little teenage ex-cult member is what they find out. And so you're just like, okay. Where's this going?
I think there's like, we have to respond to this logically, and then things keep happening that are illogical. And so you start to get creeped out more and more that this girl who shows up and she's kind of fucking weird, and you're like, this isn't your regular teenager, teenager.
Right. She's homeschooled. She's Amish. There's something going on. Oh, she's from and that's like, oh, she's in a cult, which Dorothy, the mother, had actually covered in a news story.
Yeah, but that didn't get triggered when she saw this application, because I think her magic was already working and was just like, choose me.
Well, it also didn't say like, hey, I'm from a cult
but
on
it
her
was
application. Like that came up later when the cult came to find her and take her
handwritten.
back.
Like they show her application. It's like a handwritten letter. It's like everyone else has like a typed and laser printed fucking regular ass resume, and her. Yeah,
it's the magic. She's like, you will hire me, and then they do the handwritten.
So you're like,
nanny.
okay, this bitch is weird, and then she comes in the house, and they're like, okay, la la la. Thanks for keeping up the charade. You can just like collect the money. It's fine. Thanks for dealing with this. And then she's like, dealing with what? This is a regular baby. And then all of a sudden it fucking is a regular baby.
It fucking is a regular baby.
The whole first season
is the husband and the brother being like, where did you get this motherfucking baby from? Whose baby is this?
Did she walk in with it? Is this her baby?
Which, by the way, what a great first season of any show. Like, where did this baby come from?
Yeah.
Right? Like, put that into anything, a comedy, whatever. Like, just a random baby shows up in the world, and it's like, is it your baby? Did you bring this baby? Did you steal this baby? Like, what is going on here, right? But at the same time, Dorothy is, can't tell, is overjoyed, and thinks it's her baby, whose name is Jericho. So she is convinced this living, breathing baby is now hers. And a little bit the husband, too. Like, he starts to buy into it, not right away. But as you'll see, he starts to buy into it a little bit by, like, the second or third season.
Yeah.
That perhaps maybe it's Jericho. Because a lot of supernatural things do start to happen around Leanne. She definitely has Carrie vibes.
Well, you know what else is like the cult people start to interact with the family. And I have a suspicion that not only is it Leanne, it's her plus the cult coming after her, and like Uncle George having that conversation with him where he made him pray and stuff. And it's like, I think that he starts buying into like religion as this reality, and that's why it's happening.
Well, he starts going back to church too. So
he's like thinking like she's supernatural because she's like a saint or whatever.
Right. Which, and so the cult that Leanne comes from, it turns out, is called the Church of Lesser Saints, which supposedly the entire congregation burned down, but then was somehow brought back to life. And they now have the ability to bring people back to life. But if they bring you back to life, you have to serve with them and work with them to help people. You have to be in the service of the Lord. And that even means being a cop, as we'll find out in the future. It could mean just being a nurse or a doctor, which also means these people could be like everywhere. These weird fucking freaky do-gooders,
like Fight Club.
Right? Right, except for like it's like the opposite, the anti-Fight Club. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's like they don't do the same thing, but they play by the same rules.
And here's the thing too, I think what happened too is like anything, they got so strict and was like, oh my god, we were brought back to do good, we can't even enjoy seasoning on fucking chicken.
Yeah,
right? And like nice clothes,
canned soup.
She ate just canned soup. And like Uncle George, who is one of the cult leaders who brought Leanne back to life, supposedly when she died, because it's like part of how you're in this group. They come over to eat, and Sean is the father. He's a chef. He makes a fancy chicken breast, and Uncle George like squeezes all the juice out of it and like takes a napkin to it to make sure it's as plain as possible. And it's like, okay, that's where you lose me. Like, God made garlic. You know what I'm saying? God up above made basil, and vinegar. Like, it's okay to enjoy the delicious things that the Lord has created for us to eat upon the earth. Like, bro, there is no God in heaven who ever wants you just to eat a boiled chicken breast. Like, you're being a dick, So it's like, maybe she wouldn't run away if you let her have a McCheese every once in a while or whatever the fuck, or like a nice chicken sandwich or some shit. Like,
dude,
he comes in with like rotten teeth and bad shoes. It's like, why do you think she ran away?
Yeah.
Why do you think?
I was thinking that this last rewatch I did in preparation for the podcast, where I was like, he comes in acting like a fucking douche. If he had come in, not been a douche, like, there wouldn't have been seasons 3 and 4.
I think he was trying to scare them, and they thought like once they saw the associations she had, they would have been like, get the fuck out of our house. But they underestimated how desperate they were to keep that motherfucking baby.
Yeah.
They were like, this is the perfect solution. Let's just fucking replace the baby. Which, again, let's talk about protecting white women's tears, right?
Yeah.
Like that's a huge part. So a huge part of this show is just how fucked up rich white people are. From the fact that they can be so obsessed with themselves and their careers that they forget their baby roasting in the car on a hot day, which I know does happen, but let's be honest, a lot of people have a lot of kids, a lot of women out there are single mothers with multiple children, and they don't let shit like this happen. You know, like I'm the last of 6. None of the kids in my family roasted in a car because my mom was too busy and she worked full time. So did my dad. I get it. And I know things happen. I'm not trying to be super mean, but these people were awful to each other. The husband couldn't take being a dad after just a few weeks. The brother was a junkie who couldn't be there for his sister. The father can't be there, so she's alone. Okay. And she's so self-absorbed with the shopping that she leaves the baby in the car. So it's just like, does this woman deserve to be a mom?
Yeah.
And does this woman deserve to be protected from the terrible things she did? Because that's what her whole family does.
And not just her whole family, but I also extended it to the like police and stuff, because I just rewatched the first season and they're like, it wasn't even a crime, like it happens all the time. And I was like, how is that not a fucking crime? Like that's a crime. You killed a baby on accident. There's such a thing as manslaughter. That's still on accident, you know?
And they sort of make it seem like the dad made it all go away.
Yeah. And it's really such a symbol of like that white woman's privilege, where it's like, oh no, don't upset Dorothy. She can't be upset. You know, like she's going to cry. And like I was saying to you earlier today, it's like now we have this idea of Karen where it's like they just cry to the police and then they get what they want. And it's like you see that mechanism in play here because they don't want to upset Dorothy. And they even say you mustn't upset Dorothy. Like in one of the episodes, she has to be like shielded from everything, even her own actions, you know?
Right.
So that's pretty wild. And it's also just like really interesting how what you said earlier about like if she was a different kind of woman of color or of like a lower economic background, like she wouldn't have been afforded the luxury of not having that be a crime, you know?
Right. Exactly.
So they just let her live out this delusion for super long. And then even she gets like this little miracle girl that shows up and gives her baby back. And even when she has her baby back, like she's such a bitch. Like she isn't nice, you know? And then that's why I kind of was like getting what the cult people were saying this second time around, being like, yeah, she doesn't deserve it. Like you're going to waste this on this person. Like,
So let's go back to the basis of the cult, like just to give everybody the outline too. So the Church of Lesser Saints are brought back here to do service to people on Earth. And that could mean being put into a family that's having a hard time and they need your healing presence there to make it work or whatever, right? So Leanne had been on these other missions essentially, but she went off on her own, went rogue, and wanted to bring back Dorothy's kid because she's obsessed with Dorothy. And that's what we learn as we get through the show, is that she actually had a serious obsession with Dorothy. And once learning that her baby died, thought it was the perfect opportunity to worm her way into her life, which is not God's will. God's will isn't to reward horrible people who did terrible things. It is to stop terrible things from happening to good people. So when you see the cult leaders come in and try to pull her away out of the situation and say they're not worthy, they actually do mean that. They're like, you really need to be somewhere else helping people who are worthy of help and protecting children. So that's the basis of this whole thing that you're not entirely aware of, but once you can rewatch it, you're like, holy shit, these guys are right. And they should really get her out of there because things are not going to go well when you go against God's will.
but you didn't think that because they came in being such dicks, you know?
Exactly, because they're terrified and they don't know how to interact, right?
Yeah.
And then they essentially show the cult winning for a minute and saying, you know, Leanne, you have to go with this other family because tragedy will strike if you don't help them. And it's a sickly mother and a angry dad and a little boy, and they're all in danger because everybody's at the end of their ropes with this mother's sickness, right?
Yeah.
And Leanne gets essentially kidnapped away or taken back by Dorothy.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't realize at this point what she's getting herself into.
And when
with
Leanne
these
left, the
guys.
baby was gone, and she saw the doll for the first time and was like, somebody switched my baby with a doll, you know?
That's right. It's the first time she actually saw the doll.
Yeah.
Which does go to say that she did bring her a little bit out of her state. She did heal her on some level, because now she at least couldn't see that she could see the doll was not a baby.
Right.
Which could be argued is part of her healing, is to at least be like, no, that's not a baby.
I think that there's an argument to be made that just Leanne being present heals other people.
Well, yeah, that's exactly right. That's what I mean. Like, that's
Yeah.
why she was supposed to be in a house to heal this other woman and help that woman, so that the dad didn't freak out and then do what he did, which was burn the whole house down and kill the kid and kill everyone. So that's what happens when you go against God and you're supposed to help this other little boy, and now he's dead because you brought this other little boy back who didn't even deserve to be brought back for this terrible, terrible woman and terrible father.
And that moment happens where it's revealed that family kills each other, is that when she gets back to the Turner house, the house where most of the story takes place, and Uncle George is there, and he's going to make a trade for Leanne for Jericho so the baby can stay with the family. She doesn't get that. He doesn't get that deal, because that's when it's revealed that like Leanne was supposed to be there and she wasn't there, and her returning to that house has already caused more chaos and fallout.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't go against God's will. Like, bad stuff just keeps happening.
And so, yeah, Knight talked about how this is a biblical story, a Faustian tale, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like all these things. It's like you think you're going to get what you want, but it's going to be bad for everyone. And so it's almost like Leanne has her own bargain, and then she presents her bargain as she gets more powerful to the family itself. So she's powerful. She can bring things back to life. We know this now. She brings this baby back to life. And we go into the second season knowing, I think, that she's a little bit magic. They say that it's it's up for debate, but I don't think so. In my book, she's 100% this magical being. She is more powerful than the other of the lesser saints. That's how she breaks away. And in that, she actually starts a following of her own, of other people breaking away from the Church of Lesser Saints to eat delicious chicken instead of old chicken.
I know, right?
And brush their teeth and shit. And it's a bunch of homeless punk kids, which is kind of cool. And so they live in the park right next to her, and she starts to have this little army to help protect her. Because again, at this point, you kind of are on Leanne's side. You're like, oh shit, like, leave this girl alone. She just wants to bring babies back to life. What's the big deal?
Right, you
It's for an
follow her
asshole.
around. You don't think that there's anything that's wrong with her. She's just this girl who's trying to be nice to this family, and then this cult shows up and tries to like fuck up her shit. Right? Like,
But then slowly you start to realize why they're concerned for her, because power corrupts. And without the teachings of the church, without being in service, what's going to happen to you? You're going to get kind of fucking evil, right? And she gets more and more powerful and more evil.
yeah, she gets more and more evil as the series goes on, and she starts to like let things happen to random people she doesn't like.
Because she starts using her power for the wrong reasons, which is exactly what the cult is telling her is going to happen if she doesn't keep herself in check. And she doesn't care. And so you see these things like these birds attacking Julian because he goes on it. She's got this crush on Julian, and he goes on the date with his new girlfriend and gets attacked by a bunch of birds.
That's right.
Or there's like, he's trying to break up with her at one point, and a piece of the building literally almost kills him and falls on his head as she goes into the door. I don't want to get too far ahead, but even like the whole thing with Julian overdosing, right in Christmas, was that season 1 or 2? I can't remember.
I believe that was season 2, because she was still in the house.
Yeah. And so there's like a dinner, and Julian's really having a hard time keeping it together, because you're thinking of the husband and Julian, and they're like lying to their wife about first that the kid died, and then that they had a doll that was replaced by maybe Leanne's goddamn kid. It's like there's so many lies upon lies, because apparently lying to each other is a lot easier than just dealing with grief. And that's another funny like ongoing theme, is avoidance and alcohol. Like just drink, keep drinking, drink, don't worry about it, you know. And it's like,
yeah, they're like, open a bottle, pour a bottle. They have a wine cellar that's like always available to them, and they're always trying different drinks. And
then they'll judge Julian for being a quote unquote junkie, but it's like, so are you drink every day. Like, what's the fucking difference? Just because it's expensive wine? Like, it's the same, you're an addict too. And they show Julian, poor Julian, who you find out is the one who finds the dead baby in the crib that's been there for days rotting away. So it's like he's the most sympathetic character to me, because he's just a fuck up who doesn't know any better, and then he ends up finding a dead baby that's his nephew and has to live with that, and then lie to his sister about it. So he can't even talk about it, because who's he going to talk to? Like, no one's even sympathetic about it. He can't grieve with his sister. He can't grieve with anyone. So he just turns to drugs, everyone's best friend, right? So he overdoses on Christmas, and Leanne kisses him back to life, gives him like the kiss of life. And it's like, damn, he sees Jericho and he's like, he's okay and all this shit. Like, it's so crazy, right? But like, you kind of forget about that in a way. Like, they never
because
really
it happened
so
quickly,
right? But you do notice after a while that, like, when you go back and rewatch it, he is getting stronger. He is being more helpful. Like, something does change in him after that.
Yeah, he's got the magic in him now.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's never mind.
He's changed.
He's
then
changed.
we get through, and things do get a little hairy between them, and some resentments start to form because she thinks Leanne took the baby away.
Yeah, they never really recover from that. Like, even though Leanne comes back into the house and Jericho comes back with her, Dorothy never really forgives her for that and gets more and more paranoid. And then she's already being fucking lied to and gaslit.
Right.
So, which does happen a lot, and I do think is another theme of this denial and gaslighting and, like you said, lying, you know? And it's like, she is also trying to react logically to an illogical situation.
Right.
And so I think that's the counter to everything that happens with Leanne that seems like paranormal.
Because to Dorothy, she fired her nanny, and her nanny kidnapped her son.
Right. And now she's back in the house for some fucking reason.
Because Sean's like, it has to be this way. And it's like,
yeah.
Why? So no one will even tell her, like, it's not really your baby. Leanne brought them by the way. It's like, none of it. They're just like, shut up, this is how it has to be, which infuriates Dorothy, of course, and then just gets gaslit into pure insanity, which, been there, girl, seriously.
Yeah.
You know, and then Leanne's getting more powerful, she's getting more evil, she'll get angry, and there's like a sinkhole forming through her anger, you know what I mean, and cracks in the foundation, and all this shit's happening because of her emotions.
And Dorothy goes with it too. Like, Dorothy gets crazier too because Leanne's doing more.
And she tries to bury her.
Yeah.
She tries to like kill her and bury her, and it's like it gets so dramatic over this fucking baby.
The third season is that season with it's like Dorothy versus Leanne, and like I feel like too, because Leanne is only 18 and she's like such an innocent girl when she arrives, that she's also coming into her womanhood in a way and her power.
Right. Yeah.
And so she starts to also take advantage of Julian, I think. And like,
oh yeah,
she like gets mad that he has another girlfriend because they have a sexual encounter in like the second season. And then he's like, I don't want to pursue this. And then after that, she like attacks all of his girlfriends. And she attacks Toby, the kitchen chef guy.
The kitchen guy that she also had a little thing with, and like attacks his girlfriend.
Yeah, so she's very jealous.
Which is weird because she's into it, because he's still into her like the whole time.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she's got that thing. And then, like, even Julian says, like, I didn't choose her. She chose me. And it's like, ugh. And then, like, Dorothy just rolls her eyes. She's just like, gross.
I feel really bad for Julian. He's the most sympathetic character.
He's so weak. But, yeah, he's great. Played by Rupert Grint.
A.K.A. Ron Weasley.
so good.
Yeah.
And the cast is great. Lauren Ambrose. Oh, we forgot to mention Lauren Ambrose is in it. Loved her in 6 Feet Under. I mean, love, love, love. I think she's Scream Queen now because she's also cast as Van in fucking Yellow Jackets, which just came back, which is so fucking good. So yeah, she's just going horror show, horror show, horror show. This girl's all over the horror. I love it. And she's so good at it. She's really amazing in this, in Servant. She is just unhinged, but then also like especially that last season, like just so fucking vulnerable and real and like so good. So yeah, essentially you start to just see all these things start to happen, right? Like you start to realize Leanne truly has this power. Everyone who comes for her dies. Her Auntie May comes to take her back. She gets burnt up. The fucking Uncle George keeps trying, gets hit by a car, but he comes back because apparently he's pretty hard to kill.
Yeah, he's Mike Myers. They keep
trying to like save her soul and kill her at the same time, like do this weird anointing thing. And she is constantly attacked. So she's also sympathetic because you think that she's just trying to have this thing, but you realize that she's got an obsession with Dorothy. She never should have done it this way. And it starts to get very twisted by the 3rd season. And again, all these episodes, there's only like, 8 or 10 a season. They're all about a half hour. So you can fly through this like just a really long movie that's intense and really great. And by the 3rd season, you're just like, fuck you, Leanne. Like, what is going on, right? Like, you're just like, now you're like, she is evil. Like, there is something scary about her. She's manipulating the family. She's manipulating Julian and Toby. And you're just like...
She's overstepping. She has them all in her clasp, you know? Now she's like a tyrant. She's totally the opposite of when she walked in the door.
And now she's like, I'll make you famous, Sean, if you just shut the fuck up, right? Like, she's just like, shut up. This is what you want.
Yeah, I can make things go really, really well for you if you just play along and let me have my obsession.
My family.
And
she just wants a mommy and daddy, and she wants to be the older sister taking care of baby. And it's just like, oh my God, she just wants it so bad. But she just gets too much. It just gets too much, and she starts freaking out. And so as she starts getting more powerful, the whole cult starts being more desperate to kill her because they're like, you're going to bring about the end of the fucking world. So then they start to talk about how she's essentially the Antichrist. And they're like, listen, if you don't kill yourself, you are going to destroy the world. Your power will get out of hand. You're going to get megalomania. Like, it's going to be nuts. And you start to see that that's exactly where she's headed. And so by season 4, she is just fucked because at the end of season 3, she wants control. She wants that fucking family. And she pushes, essentially not pushes, but makes things happen with her mind where Dorothy goes flying off the 3rd story and smashes down on her back and is partially paralyzed for season 4. So it's like...
She trapped her.
Talk about cliffhangers. She traps her. Literally traps her. So when we open in season 4, Leanne is an absolute tyrant. She's running the household. Dorothy is an invalid in her bed, like just cannot move right now. Although she does she's very determined because she has a spinal injury to be able to walk again. And we do have the influence of Leanne to heal her. Like, a lot of people are like, this is bullshit. I'm like, Leanne is a healer. That's the whole point. It's not bullshit. Like, she could walk again. And by the very final episode, Dorothy is walking again because Leanne chose it, essentially.
Yeah.
She heals everyone by the end.
She has the power to heal at will. And so do all of them, because Uncle George heals Sean's hand when he burns it in season 2.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's why it's so fucked up when it is corrupted, because then she can also kill people at will, and that's fucked up.
And she does. She lets us, this reporter starts fucking with Dorothy and wants to bring out her story about her dead baby, and she gets shot right on camera in front of everyone.
Yep.
And Leanne just laughs. So, we start seeing more and more of this supernatural shit. Dorothy falling, the fucking, like I said, the sinkhole starts to get bigger and bigger. The reporter's shot. And then, you know, the storm starts. Like, so like it gets to this point where everyone's trying to kill her, desperately trying to kill her. And finally, Uncle George is like, yo, you need to kill yourself. We can't kill you. You know what you are. You're fucking evil. Fucking do it. And at this point, you're also like, yeah. And the father and the brother are like selling her out. Sells out his own girlfriend to just be like, fuck you, Leanne. Like, get out of our lives.
Yeah, we can't deal with you.
Because the Faustian bargain of fame is not worth losing Dorothy, who feels completely alone, gaslit again, right? Now she can't even leave her bed.
Yep.
And it's just so good. And this poor girl really does just, it's like that real tragic story you see a lot of, just like messed up kids who just want to be loved and go about it all wrong.
Mm-hmm. It is. And I think like you really see, you don't, I can't say anything about this because it's like ultimate spoilers, but
No, I mean, we already spoiled this whole show.
Cool. Like the end where Dorothy, and obviously like eventually, you know, they're going to tell her that the baby was dead and that she,
and that's what's great. You're just like, tell her. And then you get to like the penultimate episode and they tell her, right? Is it like the one right before the end?
It is. And then like in the next one, you're like, what is she going to do? Because like even the cliffhanger at the end is like, say yes, say no, say yes, say no. Remember? And
right. So they tell her and she flips out and she remembers that she killed her own child and then is like, wait. Well, what the fuck is up with that baby? And then they go in and it's like, well, Leanne gave you the baby back. And she's like, it was Jericho. And she's like, I know it was Jericho. She's like, in my heart of hearts, I know that was my fucking son, man. Yeah. And she's like, it was. I'll give him back to you. Just say yes. Say yes. Be with me. Fuck everyone else in the world. And it's so crazy.
Yeah. Fuck your husband. Like, these men will never enter this house alone. We could just have a perfect life inside the house together forever. Like, such a, like another Faustian bargain, but also like totally immature, right? Very like child.
And like selfish and like, we'll just like, oh, we'll never leave this brownstone and just be perfect in here. And it's like, what the fuck? Who wants that?
It's fucking,
you shouldn't want that, Leanne. So she doesn't know, but she's grasping. She just wants Dorothy in her life so badly, and she's losing it, and now she's losing, and the whole world is feeling it. And there's a huge superstorm coming that's like the storm of a century, and it's flooding all of Philly and everything, and all this horrible shit's happening, and it's all Leanne's fault, and she's laughing at God, and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah. And she kills Uncle George because he's just like, you're fucking wicked. And she's like, no, I'm not, and then kills him. And it's like, well, what the hell, dude? You just proved him right. But then it takes, like, finally
Dorothy's
love. And I love that. And Knight talked about this a lot, where he's like, this is a mother and a mother's love for a daughter. Like, that's so much what this is about, and how she wanted that mother's love so badly. And that's what finally, and I love those stories because they're corny, but I think they're true, especially biblically. It's like, that's what it says. Like, love will be the only thing that can like kill evil.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
And she's just like, I forgive you. I love you. Thank you for trying to give me my son back. That's like the nicest thing anyone's ever fucking done for me.
Yeah. And you remember that she never fucking knew the whole time.
And she didn't know. And like, once she realizes that, I love that she asked the men to leave, the men who have been betraying her and lying to her the whole time, and is like, wait. So these men were lying to me, hired you to lie to me, and then you actually gave me my baby back, and then I treated you like garbage.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize that's what happened. I thought you kidnapped my son. Like, I think she was like, I need a real minute to process this. And she's a smart person and was like, holy shit, Leanne's really not as fucked up as I thought. She's just such this poor fucking girl obsessed with me.
Yep.
And like, I don't know. I love the scene on the roof, the emotion of the storm and all that shit. And she's just like, I forgive you and I love you, and like, let's just go inside. And it's all the Antichrist ever needs is just to be loved, because God hated them, right? Like, that's the whole thing. It's like, God hates you, but I don't. And it's like, damn.
Yeah, it was
very moving.
Really, really sweet ending. And I was just like, what a great resolution. And so believable in my mind. I was like,
because that's how women would be.
I was like,
if it was two dudes, they'd fight it out till one was dead, but two women are like, I love you, you're misunderstood. And it's like, I love you. And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that
and
ending.
then she's like,
and the only person I heard who didn't like it was some white guy who was yelling about it on the internet. And I was like, shut up, dude.
whatever.
He's like, it didn't seem realistic. I'm like, that's because you're not a woman who ever had a conflict with another woman they loved. Like, you're stupid. That's how we solve shit. We hug it out. And so then they go inside, and you know, the storm is raging. Though it's not stopping. She knows she's unnatural. It's too late. It's too far gone. She's the Antichrist. And
She's killed people at this point. She's off.
She's killed people.
Yeah.
She's bad. And God's mad. The baby's not coming back, you know, and that's okay. And I love that she says that's like, my love for him is. It's like, my love for him has to be part of the grief, right?
Yeah.
It's like, if I don't know he's gone, that's fucked. I can't love him. And that's really beautiful and deep too, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And, you know, but Leanne knows what she has to do, and I fucking love that she does it the way they make her death beautiful. It's on her terms. It's not because someone's forcing her hand.
Mm-hmm.
I love she has to anoint her eyes, so she blinds herself with, like, Dorothy's mother's perfume.
Yep.
Listens to Dorothy's favorite album that became her favorite album, and dances while she like sets herself on fire and like cuts herself. And it's like, it's honestly really beautiful and terrifying. I love it.
It was really nice. It was like this is a weird feeling to be like, oh my gosh, and then me really actually being very squeamish and like closing my eyes or looking away for a lot of it, but also being like, oh, it's so like heartwarming. It was beautiful. It's a weird feeling, you know? Yeah. It's
even when she catches on fire, it's really pretty, and she's like screaming and falling through the floors.
Yeah.
And then they don't even find a body, so I love that it implies like maybe she lived through it or got like brought up to heaven. But the best part is, of course, there's always that twist, right? And it's like, you find out that the cops that didn't arrest her were also like in the Church of the Lesser Saints.
Yep.
And they're like, we were checking up on one of our sisters, which is interesting because she's like Leanne, and it's like, I don't know, she's checking up on you too, Dorothy. Like, that's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, I guess they're checking on Leanne. And then they wrap everything up. They're going to have a fresh start somewhere new. It's what finally changed these two assholes, humbled them into being decent people, hopefully. Maybe they'll have another fucking baby. I don't know. And then Julian is like walking, getting his coffee, and that same police officer who's in the Church of Lesser Saints is like, yo, bro, you had the kiss of life. Like, you died. Leanne brought you back. What do you think that means, asshole? And then he's like, no. And she's like, dude, have you been feeling better? And he's like, yeah. And then they're like, you're part of us now. Just reach out when you need to talk to us. And it's like, oh my God. And he's just like, oh. And he looks at the birds there's like the mural of the fucking pigeons or whatever. And he's like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's so good. Poor Julian is now a fucking lesser saint, whether he wants to be or not.
Yeah.
And now he can bring back Jericho too, I guess.
Which is another thing too. It's like you were part of it whether you want to be or not. You're trapped in it.
Yeah.
That's why you can be corrupted, and if you're corrupted, you have to have this horrific death.
Well, she was just a little girl when they brought her back.
Yeah.
Because she started a fire that killed her family, and then they were like, oh no, poor little girl. And she's like, yeah, I'm pretty evil, actually.
Yeah. Whoops, I'm evil.
Oops, I'm evil. I did it on purpose. But I guess her mom was mean, so I guess she needed to die. I don't know.
Well, that's what she thought.
That's why I don't want kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want my kid to burn me alive. That's why I didn't have kids. That's the one reason. Oh, you didn't want children? No, they could burn you alive, you know? And they'd be like, yeah, good point.
Spoopy.
Micaela. Yeah. And then whose fault is it? Yours? Because who raised them? You. Only have to blame yourself.
You burned yourself alive through your child.
You burned yourself alive through your child. Good job. Great job. Anyway, fantastic, beautifully acted, wonderfully directed. I guess you guys really should check it out. It's on Apple TV right now. It'll probably be streaming on other stuff, but if not, I don't know. Apple TV is like $5 a month. Just watch it for 1 month and then, or, Fire Stick it or whatever, steal it, do your thing. Come to our house. We'll watch it with you. Yeah. I don't know. Figure it out, peeps.
It's so fast. It flies by.
It really does. Thanks again for listening to Bleed With Me podcast. Thanks for coming and being my co-host, Ellelectrick. It was fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. I love it. More spooky things in the future, I hope.
Yeah, we'll just have to get you to watch some more stuff. Well, you're watching Yellow Jackets, so that's cool. And then we've been reading a little bit more horror here and there and stuff. So, we'll get you hooked on a little bit more horror. I think we can desensitize you at least to spoopy stuff. Maybe not the blood stuff.
I think that I'm like getting more desensitized to slashers and maybe even monsters a little bit, because monsters are not real. They're gross looking a lot. They're like all icky.
I mean, yeah, you really scared of monsters? Yeah, they're not real.
I think because I'm watching Fringe and now I see the gluey goop shit like every other episode, I can deal with more gooey goop monsters.
Cool. Anyway, it's been good talking to you. We'll get you back on the show at some point, and I'll talk to you next week on our other podcast. So everyone listen in. It's me and Ellelectrick every other week, every other Tuesday, the Blunt Letters podcast. And you can follow us on our Instagrams and our YouTube and I don't know, all over the web. We have a website and everything. So just go to our Instagram and Linktree and our www.com Blunt Letters, and we'll have it all in the show notes. But anyway, you can find us if you want us. That's for sure. Anyway, thanks for coming on, Ellelectrick. It was great talking to you.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And thanks for listening, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe to this wherever you're listening. And please rate my show. It does really go a long way, because someday I would like to do this for a living and not have to worry about not paying my rent and stuff. Also, if you want to become a Patreon to my other podcast to help make this podcast real, we'll have links to that coming up, and all kinds of ways you can support us. If you have anything you'd like to say, you can DM me, or you can go ahead and answer the poll questions or send me a voice message. I don't care. Just find me. And if you want to be on the show, or there's anything you want me to talk about, just let me know. I'm here for y'all. Anyway, thanks again for bleeding with me, and I'll talk to you in a few weeks. Bye-bye.
To be with me.